Hello PNTV shareholders and PNTV supporters. My name is Brett Pojunis. I'm one of the directors of Players Network. I'm joined here with Mark Bradley, who's our chairman and CEO.
Thanks a lot, everybody, for joining us today. We have some interesting things and exciting things to update people on, but more importantly, we want to be here to answer your questions. And we've had some really great news this week, a couple press releases. Really, the whole sea change is going on with the company right now. So that's the purpose of this thing, is really to make sure everybody stays in tune with what's going on.
Right, and earlier this week we put out arguably one of the best press releases in company history. We talked about a significant increase in revenues, up 2,474% from last year. But the interesting thing is that was only for a short time period, not aggregate over the entire year. So as we continue generating more revenues, that number obviously is going to go up from there. So.
Yeah, now it's a big number, but obviously it came from a small number. But really what the point of the whole press release is to let people know we're making revenue. We went from an operational company that had licenses, that had to do a building, and then had to do acquisitions and put things together. And now we're an operating company, and that's the main. The main point of it.
Yeah, and let's talk about that a little bit. So we are late with our Q. We've gotten a lot of phone calls saying, hey, Brett, hey, Mark, when are you guys going to file your Q? Well, we're working as hard as we possibly can, but like Mark just said, we're dealing with a company that was predominantly cash-driven. Candidly, there were not too many receipts. We had to go back and find all the receipts and recreate the books and records. And you're dealing with a culture. I want you to get into this a little. You're dealing with a culture that's been there for 30 years.
Yeah, it's really interesting being a fully reporting company, public company here, coming to the wild west of California, finding this great gem, this beautiful facility, but the operations in California only went legal in January, so not only are they getting up to speed with just state compliance stuff, they're not even close to being compliant with the state yet. They're still getting license issued, but put a public company on top of that, and so remains Oxley. We're reporting things. It's been interesting, but we're getting through it. So it's
it's been a fun educational experience for us, and the good news is, hey, we're just getting started. We hope to do a lot more. Mark, his focus as chairman and CEO is going to continue to be trying to find the next Salinas Valley acquisition and continuing to raise money. Why don't we talk about the capital raise a little bit? Because I can tell you, I got a lot of calls just recently, saying, hey, Brett, are you going to do any additional types of fundraising? Are you do more traditional rounds? And let's call a spade a spade. It's been very, very challenging in the cannabis industry to go out and get traditional funding because it doesn't exist.
I know. We talked about this before.
Yeah, you can't go to a bank and just get a loan. It doesn't exist. Why don't you talk about this a little bit?
So again, two challenges. One being a small cap company and how much funds are available to you, and then the other one being a marijuana company and even less funds available to you. The good news is we're producing cash flow. We don't need as much money now as we used to have as far as for our existing operations. Now the money that we're raising is really, a lot of it's based on transactions. I'll give you an example. We're looking at dispensaries both to acquire and to apply, and we're going to talk about that more in depth. But it's easy to single out now a license that has a value on it, and someone knows they have the license on it, and it's easier to invest into that one property without affecting the public stock, but having the public company and our shareholders, you guys, having the benefit of it.
Right, and let's just delve right into the application, because after we put our press release out this morning, got a lot of phone calls. A lot of people are really, really excited about the idea of us becoming fully vertically integrated in the state of Nevada and applying for dispensaries. And Mark, you've been leading the charge on that. Let's talk a little bit about what vertical integration is for anyone that might not know what that is.
So, if you look at the liquor industry is a three-tier system. Anheuser-Busch is the manufacturer. There is a distributor, and then there's a liquor store. This is a very bizarre industry because you can be the manufacturer and also the retail at the same time and the distributor. Well, when you have that, that's considered being completely vertically integrated in this particular example of the marijuana industry. it gives you an advantage. We've talked about this before, that we would love to be able to control the whole sales cycle from the seed to the actual sale to the customer.
Sure.
So being vertically integrated is a game changer for the company. We're not here representing we got any licenses yet, but
Well, wait, hold on. Just so everyone doesn't, we do have licenses. We have 4 licenses.
Retail licenses.
We have 2 cultivation, medical and recreational, and we have 2 production. Now, just so everyone knows, cultivation allows you to grow marijuana. Production, or in some states they refer to it as manufacturing, that allows you to take raw plant material and flower and extract that, which you then use for oils and edibles and cartridges. So we have those 2 licenses right now in Nevada. Now, to be fully vertically integrated, that's the retail component.
The storefront. So,
the storefront, the dispensary.
So when you look at the dispensary, Nevada did a really good thing. Instead of opening this up to the world for anybody to apply for license, only people that can apply for license are existing license holders like ours in good standing.
Right,
so,
and then we're referred to as medical or marijuana establishment right now.
Correct. So there's going to be 63 licenses more in the state of Nevada.
64, we looked at it.
64, 63, 64, anyway. And it's all split up between, you know, some have the city, some is the county, some's up north. The different provinces have their different, you know, amount of licenses they can have. We're going to apply for several of them, a minimum of 3, as many as 6. You know, no guarantee, and the way it works is on a merit system. We put a press release out this morning, brought on Christine Kramer, an amazing woman, a superstar who is just plowing through these applications, and we put together a great team. So when you apply for the application, they're looking for experience, they're looking for taxes, they're looking for your board of directors, your management,
security
plans, everything.
Location.
And we think we have a top-notch plan. We really do, and we think we have a very good chance of getting 1, if not more. So that's part of a vertical integration strategy. We're filing on the 7th. We're going to know of September to the 20th. There's a 10-day window open, and we'll know if you guys are going to ask, you'll know by December 5th whether we have one or not.
Right, but
so
then the dates again one time. So it's September 7th to September 20th, right?
Is the application period.
And that's the time where only us, or the people who have our classification, can apply for these licenses. And then again, I want to drill this point home because I know we're going to get the phone calls. We won't know until probably December 5th. Again, so if you want to call us beforehand, we're not going to change that number. It's not up to us. We wish we could fast track that, but we can't. So let's kind of go back to our new business model that we put in place.
But I think there's a little bridge here.
Sure.
In addition to Nevada, we're doing the same thing in California. We have a cultivation facility. Now we're going after dispensaries. We're eyeballing 2 of them right now. Both of them are in Northern California. Both of them are amazing locations, and this isn't happening tomorrow. We're going through acquisitions, and you're going to keep hearing we're growing by acquisitions.
Right.
In addition to looking for opportunities with our existing licenses, but we're looking for acquisitions. What you saw earlier this year with Salinas and what we reported on revenues a few days ago is the tip of the iceberg.
Right. No, unaudited. Unaudited.
But it's a tip of the iceberg. So, and we're going to keep saying that. So if anyone wants to know what we're doing, we're growing by acquisition.
Yeah, and again, we encourage everyone to please go to our website, playersnetwork.com. We're doing a pretty good job to keeping that updated. We also are really getting aggressive with social media. If you saw in the last 5-6 days, you'll see that we have a lot more posts out there on Twitter, Facebook. We're even pushing out on LinkedIn. But let's go back to where you said it's a great segue. So our main strategy right now is threefold. One is growth by acquisition, and that's what Mark just explained with Salinas Valley. The second one is joint ventures. We've got a lot of irons in the fire right now as far as how we can take our brand, Greenleaf Farms, and expand that into other markets. And the third thing is new market opportunities, and that's exactly what you saw in today's press release with our application. So new market opportunities allows us to file applications to markets that are going to be opening up, be it Nevada, be it Michigan, or any other markets that we would like to go after.
Should we get to some of the questions? What do you think?
Yeah, all right. Let's get to some of these questions. First off, please don't email me the questions. Please go to the form that we created. Let's see. So the first question is, people are asking about, are we going to be able to book the revenues from Salinas Valley in May? I got that 3 times.
Okay. I originally thought we were because we took it over on May 27th. Our auditors are not going to let us count the revenues from May. However, the money that was generated through May did go into the facility and paying the bills, and it was a part of the acquisition. So that revenue did offset, cost, and there's some profits there. We just can't book it. So the answer is no.
Okay, where do the clones come from for the Salinas Valley farm?
So there's two businesses. There's a nursery business and there is a flowering business. They're two different licenses. Some people have nursery license only. We actually don't get clones. What we do is we get teenagers. The plant's are already about 3 feet tall. We buy them from anywhere from $8 to $12 a piece, but that plant's a 4 to 5 week old plant, and what it allows us to do is get an entire grow cycle. Most people can only grow 3 turns a year. We're up to about 4.5, so we get an extra 1.5 harvest in each bay because we do this process. So we don't use clones, we get teenagers.
A couple of you asked, it's a great question, do we plan on operating in Canada? And I'll take that. So if you look at our website and you go under our strategy, you're going to see a map of the United States. On that map, you're going to see that we have different designations for states that we'd like to go into. We have target states, and then we have something we call opportunity states. So to give you an example, Colorado, Washington, Oregon, those are opportunity states. Of course, it's recreational, but that market's extremely crowded right now. And for us to go in there, we'd have to have something really, really unique, really special. And I think I speak for the company, it's going to be the same thing with Canada.
Yeah, look at the Canadian marijuana market, in my opinion, is oversaturated. There's dozens of companies there, and it seems like there's a new public company every week.
Sometimes two.
Yeah, we're operating in California, which has got more population than Canada, and it's only a 1 hour plane flight away from here. So I think you're going to see from us is a lot of growth in California and a lot of growth in Nevada. One's the largest market in the world, and the other will be the largest recreational market in the world. So why drift across the border when we got all the wherewithal right here?
And let me ask you guys, if you were to be in just one market, out of all, in the whole world, I mean, if you want to even talk about just the United States, if you could be in one market, what market would you like to be in?
We're in it.
We're in it. We're here in Las Vegas. Arguably, like Mark just said, just to build on that, this is going to be the largest marijuana market, period, end of story.
Yeah,
we're thrilled to be here.
I'd like to give just a little information that a lot of people don't know, most people don't know, and most people in the industry don't know, is Nevada is the only state right now that's a recreational state where the wholesale price of flower is continuing to rise. We're still getting $3,000 to $3,500 for a pound here wholesale. The average is about $2,300. The average wholesale per pound in other markets, Colorado, Washington, Oregon, is just going downhill. So one of the reasons why is because Nevada didn't issue hundreds of licenses. We're in a very privileged place right now.
All right. My favorite question, as a shareholder, what can we do to help you?
Yeah.
So first off, thank you. We say this pretty regularly on our social media posts. When you see something on social media, please share it. Please do everything you can to help disseminate that information. Introduce people to our company, send them to our website, send them to playersnetwork.com/IR, and sign up for the investor portal like most of you have.
Spread the word.
Spread the word. Just tell everyone you possibly can. I mean, every single officer and director of a public company thinks that their company is undervalued, but we truly are. I mean, if you look at where we're trading at right now with a $40-some-odd million market cap, just using the most recent research report that came out, which is available at playersnetwork.com/research, they just said, if we do only $1 million a month, that's $12 million a year, and if we're on the low end of the multiple, which would be a 10x multiple, that would give us a $120 million valuation, or a 19.8 cents per share. That I still think is undervalued. So I mean, if you look at it, we have real assets. For a long time, as Mark was saying, we're in a developmental stage company. Now we've moved fully to operational. We have meat on the bones. We have have a great company now. We have real revenues coming in, and we're thrilled. And we're just going to parlay this into continuing to build our marijuana empire, if you will. Do you want to add anything?
Yeah, we're looking very deeply at markets, to go to next. And I think we're going to surprise everybody, and that's all I can tell you. If you've been surprised so far with acquisitions coming out just out of the blue when you thought other things were going to happen, like I said, we're going to surprise you, and in a very good way. That's our goal.
Yeah. All right. So, do we intend on doing a reverse merger? Or reverse merger. Do we plan on doing a reverse split?
We haven't even thought about it.
No, it's not in the radar. Let's look. You look at a lot of companies. Go look at some blue chips. They have billions and billions of shares issued now. Yes, we have a lot. We have 600 plus million issued now, but we're comfortable with that. We don't want to do a reverse at this time.
No reason to.
The cards. All right. So now we got a tough one. So the court-ordered stock. I want you to handle this one. The question is, are we still going to experience any additional selling from the court-ordered stock?
Look at. This was just a way. It was a settlement. It was a funding mechanism that allows us to pay down receivables, and it's just a legal mechanism that was in place that we had available to us, and we took advantage of it. It's $400,000, $393,000 of stock, and it's spread out over a 5-month period from June into October.
And so we're talking. We did more in daily volume today than the whole deal.
Yeah, exactly. So. It's nothing. It's not anything that's going to affect our stock. Minimal dilution, if you want to call it dilution, because it's really great term money that we got.
It is. So Greenleaf Farms, North Las Vegas. Let's talk a little bit about that, because we got a lot of questions saying, specifically, what's the game plan for North Las Vegas? Do you have any new products that we want to add? And then, are you going to increase the amount of space that we're currently cultivating?
Got it.
So, I'll take the products, you take the cultivation. How about that?
Well, I'll take a little bit of both. Yeah, look at, just like we talked earlier, went from development to making money. Greenleaf North Las Vegas has taken a long time through development for the same reason we've told you, from bureaucrats to building. Red tape, everything, but we're kind of past that now. So we have a regular perpetual cycle going in 8,000 square feet. We have a small lab, and now we are ready to start taking the next steps and growing other phases. But the difference between us coming out of pocket to use this, we're actually planning on using a lot of the revenue that comes from there to actually help it grow too. So it might be 50% revenue growth and 50% raising some additional money. We have an incredible Durban poison that's in the drying room right now that we're going to be sending out soon for lab testing. And we have tons of products, and we've had relationships with dispensaries, and a lot of people are just waiting now to do business. We've certainly had enough time to cultivate the relationships.
That is true. We're going to go back to fundraising. We kind of touched base earlier about trying to identify more traditional fundraising vehicles. We are looking at doing a 506 Reg C right now to do a smaller offering. Still be very attractive. The reality is we're going to need capital. As long as we're in the acquisition mode that we're in now, which we are, we're going to need capital to do these acquisitions.
Yeah, look, a lot of people they'll look at convertible notes and debenture agreements, and they'll think they're bad. They're not all bad. We did a bunch of bad ones maybe 4 years ago and 3 years ago, but we haven't had to do a bad one in a long time. We have great relationships with people where we have structured leak outs and all kinds of parameters set, so it can't hurt the market when we do those things. We're trying to not do them, but we want to raise money at a higher stock price. I mean, we do believe, like every company does, that we're undervalued. But look, there was this report third-party report that was put out.
Yeah, JGR Capital.
JGR, yeah. And the interesting thing about the report, whether you believe it, whether you believe what we're saying, you can't deny the facts. And when you look at the facts of our company compared to other marijuana companies, their market cap compared to ours, when you look at the outstanding shares, and now when you look at the revenue component, and there's people that are doing much less revenue than we just reported in the last
few months
right, that have market caps 3 times higher than us. Figure that out. I don't know, but eventually we believe there'll be a market correction, and when you have a company that's doing millions of dollars a year in revenue like we're on track for now, it's a game changer.
And I want to build on that. just so you at home know, I mean, we haven't sold any shares. We haven't, even when the stock went up to 23 cents, we didn't sell a single share. We're trying to build a real business. Maybe we're naive, but we're old-fashioned. We believe in building a real business, and then hopefully the stock will catch up to the business. And that's what we're doing. We've rolled up our sleeves. We're in the trenches. We're fighting this thing out every single day.
It's exciting right now.
It's been
a great time so far the last few months.
That second part of the funding question is, will we be entertaining any direct investments from shareholders? Well, short answer is sure. Give us a call. Send us an email. Brett at playersnetwork.com is listed all over the website. Mark at playersnetwork.com. Send us an email.
And Bradley.
Well, yeah, both. And Bradley at playersnetwork.com and B. Pojunis at playersnetwork.com. But we're all friends. We'll give you the real email addresses.
Yeah. So. What our plan is at the right time is to do an offering, and the first offering we plan on doing is going to be available to our shareholders and accredited investors. It'll be in some type of 506.
That's what we're hoping.
And we'll update you when we come up with exactly what we're going to do.
Yeah, other than that, I think we've addressed most of the questions. Now, listen, we did get, I said this earlier, we did get a lot of emails, probably got a lot of personal emails. Please, in the future, use the forms. That's how we can keep everything organized. So we want to thank you. This is probably the most well-attended webinar we've done to date.
I want to add one more thing about the questions. We wanted to stay focused on the press releases this week. There are some other questions that people sent us that weren't really within this subject, but we'll be glad to answer any of those with direct emails anytime. We want to believe in having a strong communications and let you guys always know what's going on, and hopefully that'll be something people look back and say, hey, that company communicated well to us, and we want to try our best at that.
Right. One more quick feature. So if you go to our website under the Investor Relations portal, you'll see a new IR schedule. So you can actually click on that, and one of our representatives will get back to you on the time that you pick for the conference call. So thank you so much for your continued support. Again, our website is playersnetwork.com. Our stock symbol is PNTV. Thank you again.